Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Play Starbound. Kind of an exciting episode, or an exciting series to be starting, because Starbound, of course, for those of you who are not familiar, but I'm assuming that most of the people out there watching this are maybe even more familiar with this than I am, despite the fact that I've been playing it for the past several hours, is the new sci-fi sandbox survival game from Tiyuri, who of course was one of the creators of Terraria a couple of years ago. Now, I played a bunch of Terraria, eventually got burned out on it after, you know, like 690 hours, like far too much time. It's been 2.5 years, I'm excited to jump back into this one. I've been spending a lot of time with it so far. Really interesting ideas. It's got kind of like this core survival sandbox thing that is, you know, typified by games like Minecraft, Terraria, and stuff like that, but also this crazy, like, world-spanning sci-fi, which is really awesome. I've just barely scratched the surface of that so far, but what I really like about this, first off, is this Mega Man X-style door, but ignoring that, what I really like about Starbound so far, this is just the beta, by the way, and I will put a link in the video description below where you can go and pick up the game for yourself and pick up the beta for yourself, potentially, but is that the opening of the game, it doesn't just drop you into the world and it's like, hey, you know, figure out your own way to survive, MFer. Instead, you actually have a quest journal, and this kind of guides your progress, and for someone like me, who is an old man, who doesn't really resonate with these kind of games all the time, this makes things very easy for me. So we are going to do a full series on Starbound. I'm going to see how far I can get, conquer the galaxy if possible. But in the meantime, let's start small. Quest number 1, time for an upgrade. As one of the few glitched to achieve self-awareness, you were forced to flee your home with little preparation. Your ship has run out of fuel in orbit of an unknown planet. Before setting out in search of fuel, search your ship's storage for a matter manipulator. Press E to interact with objects. Okay. Easiest thing of all time. Quest number 1 basically is just, hey, go to your chest here and you're going to grab a couple of things. The most important one being the matter manipulator. I'm actually going to put these items in specific slots. I guess we'll put this seed in our inventory and the other seed in our inventory. We probably won't be starting farming for quite some time. But we picked up some very useful ingredients here, but as we exit here, the quest should actually complete. So, well done. The matter manipulator allows you to manipulate almost anything in the game world except reward. And then number 2 is, it's time for you to search the planet for fuel. To survive down there, you'll need tools. To produce tools, you'll need to make yourself a crafting table. Use your ship's teleportation platform to beam down. Okay, so just quickly to explain what the heck we've got going on here, that quick bar at the top basically is the inventory that we want readily accessible. And this is the most important tool in the game. This is our matter manipulator. I can't really use it too much up here. Even if I could, this kind of functions like a pickaxe in other survival games. It allows us to break down most matter in the game. Now, it's not the most efficient, I think. Maybe we'll get a chance to upgrade it later. It's a little bit slow, but it gets the job done for most stuff anyway. We also have a flashlight, which will be useful in dark areas, of course. We have a sword, which will be extremely useful because the enemies are going to be hostile to us as soon as we beam down. But for now, why don't we just beam down to the planet below us? So this is where it becomes very Terraria-esque very quickly. Now, remember, I have never seen those crab aliens before. This is totally different than the first planet that I actually dropped on. I think that's one of the cool things about the game is your ability to go from planet to planet. Oh, we should totally get this tomato plant. I hope it doesn't just die when there we go. We do have a hunger meter in the game as well, but one of the things I like about this is that it really seems to have the concept for, you know, galactic exploration, and in doing so, you can encounter all different kinds of flora and fauna, but hopefully the enemies here are a little bit nicer than the enemies were in my last world. In any case, we're going to start here, and we're probably going to complete the first few quests, maybe get a very primitive shelter going over the course of this video. You've probably seen the first episode of a Let's Play of a survival game before. You know, not a zombie survival game, I guess, but something like a Minecraft or a Terraria or anything along those lines. You're probably familiar with how this goes usually at the start. We don't necessarily need shelter, because we do actually have the ability via our kind of tool menu over there on the right side to just beam back to our ship if we wanted to, and we'll be safe. But also, dying doesn't necessarily convey that much of a penalty right off the bat here. So, as usual, in Tiyuri's games, the tree felling system is extremely satisfying, and it's just really nice. It's a nice feeling when you see this timber topple over here and then break into a bunch of wood blocks. So we're going to pick up, you know, somewhere in the vicinity of, I don't know, 15 to 30 wood. And after picking up that wood, we'll ignore the possibility of making like a really cheap double entendre. And instead, we will try to build a crafting table. Now, on the first world that I played this on, which again, sorry for that whole tree situation there. Are you a villain? This, we'll see, I guess. Are you a villain? Are you a villain? No, you seem friendly. Okay, as long as I'm friendly to you, maybe you'll be friendly to me. We're going to do a little bit of exploration here, because on the first world that I played, there was already a settlement in place, so I just kind of took over that settlement, and that was a very easy way for me to have some shelter from the storm. Okay, there was a treasure chest there if you didn't see it. Yeah, that was a very easy way for me to get some shelter from the storm. And the storm, of course, being the onslaught of, god-awful, annoying aliens that will occasionally get in my way. So we're just going to do some exploration here quickly and see if, perchance, we can't come across some existing shelter. If not, I'll have to make my own, and, so be it. But half of the fun of these games, in my opinion at least, is just kind of moving through the environment and kind of exploring the wonders of the procedurally generated world, if you will. Now, I'm not going to run too much longer, I think, because it's getting a little crazy at this point. We are encountering a lot of civilization, which is nice, but hopefully we end up discovering... The reason I don't want to run too far is because every time we beam back, we're going to beam back in that situation we were in before, or that area we were in before. Okay, looks like we do have one enemy here. Oh god! Game is pretty transparent about, what it makes antagonists and what it makes friendly people, or friendly aliens, as you can see. So we're just, kill these things a couple of times and move onwards here. Combat feels a little bit more kind of concrete than it did in Terraria, which is a very good thing. I should probably stop walking this... Okay, we're going to make our way back. In fact, we don't even need to make our way back. What I'll actually do is just teleport back to the ship via this button right here, and then teleport back down. So it looks like it's in our best interest to make our primitive shelter over here, basically right where we beam down. Boom down sounds great as well, though, even though it is probably a Black Eyed Peas song. So we're just going to open the crafting menu, and we're going to see, what do we need to make? A wooden crafting table. This requires 35 wood planks. So we're going to do this, and you can see this is the wood plank recipe. And another thing that's really nice is I can just type in the number that I need. I need 35 of them, and then as a result, I can make a wooden crafting table. Boom, and our quest is complete, so we get 10 pixels for that. I believe pixels are some kind of currency or resource that we'll be able to use at some point, but I haven't had a chance to use it up to this point. Another new quest. By now, you're likely beginning to feel hungry. Food can be found in a variety of places, but in a pinch, hunting is your best option. Obtain some alien meat by killing a monster with a bow, and cook it on a campfire to produce cooked alien meat. Alright, so this is a multi-step procedure here. First things first, let's put down our crafting table. This is going to be our makeshift kind of settlement, I guess. Almost said shittlement, but let's not get into the foreshadowing too much. Now, we have a wider variety of crafting recipes open to us now as a result of this crafting table. I need to make a hunting bow. Hunting bow. There it is. It'll be on here somewhere. We already have enough unrefined wood, 2.6 more times than we need, and we need 1 plant fiber. And after that, we'll have a ranged weapon, which is extremely important when it comes to... I'm a little wary here about a lot of the things going on. I really thought blue-headed Twi'lek ladies were going to help me out here. Okay, well, forget going to that side. I'm going to go to this side instead. What was I going to say? Oh, once we get the ranged weapon, it's extremely important, not only for hunting for meat, but also just for killing enemies in general. Don't do that, because it puts us in a position where we don't have to be right next to the enemy to hit them, unlike with the sword. The sword probably does more damage, but, that's a small price to pay. There's also some cool kind of like active time events with the bow, which is neat. Not like active time reload, but if you pull it back and release it at exactly the right time, you get kind of a damage bonus. So the way you get plant fibers, which is our other resource that we need in order to make a bow, and as far as I know, bows have unlimited ammo, but I would not be surprised if other ammo types can be made, and maybe it just has unlimited standard ammo. So we're approaching asphyxiation or drowning here. We should have gotten some plant fibers. Indeed, we got like 6 of them. This will be enough to make our bow, and then we can start on our quest to get some meat. So we could also start a farm if we wanted to, but I'm a little bit wary about that right now, because obviously I don't even have like a sustainable environment around me. Probably the first thing that I'd want to do is make some shelters. So we're going to craft a bow. Bow is going to be in slot 8, which is no good. Let's open up our inventory and push that into maybe slot 2. I don't think I'm ever likely to use the flashlight, so we can get rid of that. Alright, so now we have the bow, and the remainder of our quest is very simple. Now, these quests are not going to move as quickly after I finish the very, very early ones as they have so far, but I really like that at least the early part of the game is kind of set up in this... I wouldn't necessarily... Let's break the dirt underneath it, and then maybe we'll get the plant. Oh, I'm breaking the tree by accident. This is what I mean when I say that the matter manipulator is like kind of bad in terms of its efficiency. But the other thing is, I haven't broken any dirt yet, so you can be forgiven for not knowing this. But it gets its efficiency in another way, if that makes sense. Let me break this tomato plant, and then I'll explain it as we hunt around for some animals that I can use for meat. Of course, there is a day-night cycle, so I'm worried about the nighttime showing up sometime soon. Sure, let's break some of this cobblestone. We'll need this to make a furnace next anyway. What's different about this relative to some of the tools that you would have in other survival sandbox games is that it breaks in an area of effect. So it may not be the fastest when it comes to breaking individual blocks, but you also break 4 blocks at a time. And I'm hoping that there will be upgrades that either make it go faster or either increase the spread of the matter manipulator. But for now, we need some meat. So let's go find some harmful enemies. I don't want to move too far. I've already made this mistake a couple of times. Let's go back a little bit. And I don't want to fight these guys in the lab coats because, you know, the scientists are the real scary villains. You know, when you have a movie and you get, like, the antagonist is just, like, a really big, burly, strong guy, you're like, yeah, but he's easy to outsmart. When the antagonist is, like, a really smart scientist dude, you're like, okay, shit's real now. Enemies are fairly annoying, and I mean that in a good way. They're not insurmountable, but difficult to deal with. So we're gonna kill him. We actually got a hide from him. We didn't get any meat, which is unfortunate, but hopefully we'll be able to find an enemy that we can kill for meat. I believe we can use that hide for armor. You know, it's fairly typical. By the way, what I meant to point out with the like active time event with the bow is when you pull it back, there's like a brief period where it glows. If you shoot during that, you get like a 20% damage bonus or a 30% damage bonus, somewhere along those lines. Alright, so most of the enemies are actually fairly harrowing so far. I've seen like a few enemy types. Mostly I differentiate them based on their... let's build like a little bridge here. Mostly I differentiate them based on their attack type. Oh, we actually found a kind of just a treasure chest in the wild here. I wonder what we've got inside of this. Sloppy Smoocher Crappy Hammer. Okay, we'll put this in our 0 with weapon slot. We can also... if we use our matter manipulator, and this is a pretty good idea, because we need storage, of course, we can break up this chest ourselves and take it with us, and we'll put it down maybe inside of our spaceship. But for now, there's like a gold piece there. I don't know if this is actually valuable, but because there's only one of them, and I've never had gold before in this game, I'm going to pick it up, because you never know if maybe we'll end up using that as, I don't know, some kind of armor or weapon, or maybe some kind of conductive metal. Anyway, first things first, we got to move onwards just a little bit more here. Why are there no aliens to shoot? They all got wind that I was coming and they got scared, I think. It's the real situation here. So on the bright side, we are exploring to the edges of the map that we can access, at least right now with the tools at our disposal. I still do not see any aliens. By the way, I do apologize for it being a little bit framey. I have had some performance issues with the game so far. Not debilitating performance issues, but of course those always get compounded when you're recording with fraps and cause a little bit of an issue. But anyway, hopefully it's not too distracting. Obviously, you know, now it's probably distracting because I brought it up and I apologize for that. But so be it. We're just going to continue onwards here, hoping to find some freaking aliens that I can actually kill here. So this is the probably the most difficult alien type. I think just the one that runs at you. If there's aliens that like just shoot at you, you can always get behind walls and stuff, but the aliens that just like bolt at you are real annoying. Okay, we got more hides. I wonder if there's alien types that like exclusively drop certain types of resources. If like that bird, I would have to guess probably drops meat. What are you doing here? He's got charge, so we can just run away from him. Okay, let's kill these birds. I should be able to do it in a way that doesn't get me killed. My health is pretty low. By the way, you know, not to make myself seem worse than I am. Oh god, I did not realize that those birds could breathe fire. That's actually pretty significant. What I was gonna say is I'm probably gonna die many times over the course of this. Let's try eating this tomato quickly. And maybe, oh, that's just planting the tomato. Oh no, I don't have any food, because I don't have any meat. I wonder if I can just be the greatest Robin Hood of all time. You know, there is a different arc associated with each shot, depending on how long you hold the button down. Alright, what is this? We fucking... oh, no. Articuno up here. I didn't even mean to anger him. We got Articuno and Moltres, all of which displeased with me, as you can see. By the way, I think this game looks really good. I think, obviously, it looks pretty similar to Terraria. Did he also shoot some kind of poison bomb at me? Oh, Jesus. It looks pretty similar to Terraria, but it's got its own little thing going on as well. Okay, that's not meat. Also, that ain't Falco, but I am getting wombo comboed. Get out of here, scary charge alien. What I was gonna say, I don't think I said it, but it is. I'm definitely 100% gonna die multiple times, maybe even over the course of our very first episode. I have been playing this game for a few hours, and death is something that shows up all the goddamn time, and that's okay because there's not really that much punishment for it. So. You can still feel reasonably accomplished in spite of your own mortality, if that makes sense. Oh, no. Okay, I want him to stay Oh, I'm such an idiot. I just died. He was one hit away from death. Alright, I apologize for the mic clipping there, by the way. So this is cool. This is like a respawn animation. We're gonna be, you know, born from this cast and turned into a transistor. Oh, wait, we're actually just... I thought that was on a much smaller scale than it actually was. Alright, so we could deposit some stuff up here if we wanted to. We might as well talk about what's going on with the rest of the ship since I've made it back up here. We have a 3D printer, which I have not fathomed at all. I believe that we put ingredients in here and then we scan them, and then by scanning them, the objects become destroyed and we get the recipe for them, which is a really cool way to handle the crafting system, I think, but I have not managed to make it work. I have no idea what the tech button here does, but, you know, I imagine that's something that comes in the later game. Obviously, this is our storage facility where we can, you know, put a bunch of stuff that we don't need, maybe like iron ingots for now or something like that. This is our kind of fuel indicator. As you can see, our ship is empty. That's the whole impetus for us being on this planet, is we need to get 1,000 fuel so that we can eventually fly away. And if we go to our navigation system here, you can see that we can fly all around the galaxy, basically. We could even find a random galaxy if we wanted to, but we don't have any fuel to do that yet. So I'm very excited to eventually get that accomplished, but in the meantime, let us just head downwards. And we don't have to worry about getting our corpse or anything like that. I really just want to get some meat. This is the last thing, I guess, that I'm going to accomplish over the course of this video. I hear birds. Where are my birds at? I need you... Okay, like, these guys are not that annoying. I've fought enemies on their level before, certainly. I got very lucky with my arrow hit there. And even if I take a decent amount of damage, we should still be able to swing this. Oh, no. Okay, that arrow just fell out of the sky. Did he, like, breathe fire or something? There's another hide. Okay, maybe we do need to find a different alien type. I really thought... Well, you know, it's not bad, because this one will still allow us to do things. Hide is still a resource, so I'll still be able to do something with it. I'm just not sure what. So much for having a ranged weapon, which allows me... There we go, we got some meat. So much for having a ranged weapon that allows me to get away from the enemies, right? In any case, we should now be able to build a campfire. That's our next order of business, so... You know, what's really nice is that I just saw a campfire, obviously, down here, but also if you're looking for a recipe, you don't have to scroll and rely on your eyes. Just type campfire. You need a torch and some unrefined wood, so we'll definitely craft that. And now we should be able to continue kind of working on our settlement here. So why don't we put this in our slot there and this in our slot here. I apologize if my inventory management is bad. That's always a sore spot for me with these kind of games, is that I'm not the most efficient inventory manager. So if I cook my meats... No, wait, just number 8 here. If I cook my meat over the campfire, I think... Oh, there we go. So we'll put the meat onto the stove, basically, here. You can also have a stove. We'll build one of those later. We got to build a furnace as part of our next quest anyway. But anyway, there's our meat. So, enjoy. If you're a vegetarian, toss it away and start planting crops. So you can get started on the whole farming aspect right now if you want to as well. So now we have 2 really major quests. Well, one relatively minor quest and one relatively major quest, I think, anyway. Unless that comes next. So the first one is, out of the frying pan, it's time to craft a furnace. You'll need to obtain some cobblestone, a campfire, and some coal. If you'd like to know exactly how much of each you need, access a crafting table, untick materials available, and mouse over the recipe to see its ingredients. We'll accept this, of course. Okay, no, we do have one more quest before we actually have to deal with that. So let's eat our meat, not beat our meat. That is a common misconception. And maybe we'll be back to the ship, because for now, that is where I'm going to end this first episode of Let's Play Starbound. I think we accomplished some stuff, only died once, which is pretty significant, and we did accomplish a few quests as well. You can see those in the completed log here. So on the next episode, we will make a furnace, and we'll also be introduced to some of the higher level quests. And probably encounter some more difficult enemies, maybe make an anvil, maybe get some armor. In any case, if you are enjoying the series, I encourage you, especially because this is the first episode, to show your support by clicking the like button. It does help me out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more Starbound in the future. And of course, there will be a link in the video description to send you to the website as well. Again, all support on this video is very much appreciated. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I will be back tomorrow with some more Starbound. See you then.